What is going on, family, my fellow renegades? I hope everybody is having a good day today. I am very excited to check out the new song that Ren just recently dropped over the weekend with Money Ties. When it first came out, I was a little hesitant to run straight to doing a reaction, but I had asked a few of you guys if this was tied into some of the other songs, especially other stuff that was going on with like the Cujo beatdown and all that. I've heard a little bit of the stories of that, but I have not watched the videos. So I wanted to make sure before I actually got into this video that this wasn't like building off of something else, but a lot of you guys were kind enough to let me know that this one doesn't really tie together in that kind of way. Might have maybe a couple of lines somewhere in there mixed in with some of those references, but not overall enough to keep me away. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the path and pierced themselves with the many pangs of greed.
Money makes the world go round. Money makes a pure man lawless, proud. Money makes a man's verb consummate the noun. Cause an action to a thing is inspired by the pound or the dollar. False prophet, preach profit and we follow. When the scholar teach dishonor, that's a bit the pill to swallow. The biggest bank robber are the banks and the politicians, but judiciary are whores, what a shock. When we lose sight of live and let live, forget your soul is made much richer by the love that you give. If you're living just to make a living, that's all that is. And when you're lying, slowly dying, will you die with a grin? Now,
all right, let's go ahead and stop it right there because I feel like we need to talk about what he just said. We've kind of talked about this a little bit before in some of the other videos, especially when he talked about greed and some of the other videos that we have gotten into about money specifically. So I'm gonna do my best not to repeat myself, but when he talked about the fact of like that you'll be more richer by the love that you give, and like at the end of your life, like will you still have a smile on your face, like after the life that you've lived. And for me, I feel like that speaks a lot of volumes, and it talks a lot about and ties everything that we've already talked about together, and the overall fact of like at the end of your life and when you're slowly dying and you're thinking back on your entire life, your entire moment. I think I said this in the last video, is like I quoted Robin Williams where I believe he's the one who said that you'll never wish that you laughed less. And when you look back at your life, you're not thinking about all those missed opportunities that you had to make money. That, oh, if I would have invested in that Amazon stock, if I would have invested in NVIDIA stock, or if I would have done, whatever with my money, and I would have had these opportunities if I would have ever opened that restaurant I always wanted to open, or whatever it is. Like, you're not really going to think about those things. You're going to think about the people that you love and the people that you were around and the influence that you had on them. And I think that what Ren here is speaking a lot of volumes to that is like, what really matters is the love that you give to other people. I've been called morbid a lot throughout my life because I do actually think about my funeral more probably than the average person does. And it's not really the healthiest thing to think about, but I think a lot about like, what will people remember you by? What are they going to think about you when you're gone? Because it's at that point, it's too late and you can't change that narrative. They're just going to remember you for whatever they remembered you for. And a lot of times we don't start thinking about those things until it's too late. And it's at the end of our lives when we're on those deathbeds and it's too late. And now we're looking back and we're thinking about all those things that we could have changed. But the good thing about like Ren's music is he reminds us to do those kinds of things now. Have those kinds of reflections now. Don't wait till it's too late. Start looking at yourself now. And I know it's difficult. It's the hardest thing in the world to have like reflection and like look at the problems that you create. And is it me? Sometimes it is us, that we are the ones that sometimes have to change. It's not everybody else around us that's crazy. And we have to also be able to look at that and be able to be okay with ourselves and say, hey, maybe there's a couple of things that in my life and in my specific relationship with said person that maybe I need to do things differently, and maybe I need to take a step back and look at it like that.
Die die with a grin. Now digging up the root of evil, money too like a blade. You can slice across the jugular or carve and create. But when the money ain't the means, but the means is the money, you start to compromise ideals for dollars, morals get bloody. Now let me tell you a little story about a boy named Bren. Born March 1990 in the Celtic Welsh ends. We didn't have much, but mum and dad, they made enough to put hot meals on the table, fill our bellies full of love. A little sister fell into the picture. Oh my God, we loved her, made our family richer. Then we both got older, world a little colder. Life, it had a way of chipping away at that shoulder. I held her and I told her, hierarchy, status exists. Sometimes the purity of youth gets snatched, leaving you stripped. You'll learn that love is not enough, it's not a world for a kid. So toughen up and buckle up, because it's bumpy as shit. And there'll be those who take advantage.
Oh boy. Okay, yeah, that brings me to like another talking point that is kind of off topic of the idea of the overall subject of money. A lot of people have been bringing to my world lately like the idea that we're like raising like the kids these days are like too soft. Like we're too soft on them. And whether we are or not, I think what Ren was saying there, like when it comes to like it's not just enough to give them love. We have to also give them the reality of the world. It's pretending that everything is sunshine and rainbows and that everything is peace, love, and harmony it's not the best way to go about like thinking that everything is like that, because it's not the reality. At the end of the day, you're going to be very disappointed if everything is marshmallows when you fall down. Like it's not going to be that way when you leave mom and dad's house. And I think it's important for your kids to understand, or us as parents to try to like let the future generations understand that like life is a difficult and tough place. He mentioned about like you'll do a bunch of different things to try to get money, and you never thought that you would do it. Like you'll push out dumb ideas and different things because you're just going to do them quickly. And just the idea of greed just takes over and consumes so many different ideas and so many different things. I even had to kind of have this even like thought myself where I'm like, I've come into my channel never like focusing or trying to worry about like how and when the money was going to come on my channel. And I had like a moment where I'm like, I had to stop and be like, wait a minute, if I'm doing it for this reason, then I'm not doing it for the reasons why I wanted to in the first place. It's really, really easy for you to have like those moments in a brief period of time where you might go against maybe your own logic and thinking, where you have to kind of remind yourself like, wait a minute, you always got to try to do things for the right reason and not let that greed consume you. The money will come. The success will come. Those things will come to you if you work hard and put attention to detail into what you're doing and to try to make yourself better and push yourself. It is difficult. It is very difficult. I would say that I'm a testament of that it's not an easy thing to do, and it's very challenging. And I know that it is for everybody else out there in just the jobs and careers that you guys have as well, that it's just not easy to kind of put yourself out there and to try to work hard and do those things with seeing little to no results, and a lot of times is the get back. And it's I've been there myself. I know how difficult it is.
And there'll be those who take advantage of the light in your soul. And there'll be times you feel the cup you're filling leaking with holes. And that dark can get much darker. We all must grow old. But listen up, my little sister, hold these words to your close. Keep that kind heart kind. Humankind are in need. Never ever let this world make you bitter like me. Because this world needs love, and love it leaks from you, see. Sis, this world needs light, and you're the brightest I see. I see your wings have feather more than ever. Mine were torn by my oppressor. Sickness scorn me, but whatever. By your side we fly together. Give me flight when I could never. A releasing of the pressure, and the pressure makes a diamond. I will shine with you forever. Fuck greed, fuck depression, fuck bullies, fuck the jealous. Fuck every man who made you feel less than a treasure. And fuck a world that makes us feel small. Fuck the forces that divide us. Now's the time to stand tall, because money makes the world go round. Money makes the sick boy sicker somehow. Money gets a man mug punched in his mouth. Money run the gang thug, drug money plow. Money makes open case closed. Money bend love, make war, make goals. Money gives a poor man hope. Money saves lives, takes lives, money both. Money isn't, money's just that. Money's just a concept, people are trying. Tax up the poor man, feed up the fire. Money's just cash. Take money, take money, take money, take. Fake money, fake money, fake money, fake. Money ties, money ties, money ties, ayy. Money lies, money lies, money lies, ayy.
God. No people, no profit. I feel like there's a lot of power in that statement right there, too. Like, you wouldn't be able to make a profit if there were no people to profit off of. He said so much in this overall song, like, I feel like I'd have to go, like, line by line to give you, like, really just overall full thoughts on pretty much everything that he kind of talked about in this song. I really like that part at the end when he kind of overall, like, just talks about all the different things that money can do, positive and negative, at the same time. Like, it can make a poor man feel hope, where you give somebody $1 or $5 to a homeless person, and for a moment, like, they feel like they might be okay. But it's not going to change their situation. One person and one donation is not going to change that situation, but it will give somebody hope in a moment. Money will make an open shut case. He talks about all of the different situations. Like, it can make sick people sicker. It can make people better. Like, there's always a plus and a negative really to anything, like, really kind of in life. Like, there's always, it's never going to be like, no fallout from, like, really any kind of concept and idea. Somebody could always take something wrong. Something could always be affected that you didn't intend it to happen. And it's just really what you do to mitigate and try to manage those kinds of things. And unfortunately, a lot of times what companies do is just cover it up because they have the money to be able to do so. They don't really actually do what they probably should when those kinds of things happen. And that is unfortunately what happens when you let greed control the narrative of what you're doing, which unfortunately, that is just pretty much what majority of businesses really do. It's very few and far between that go outside of that radar. And that's why anytime that we as people, like, really just see those kinds of things out there where you're really trying to see those people trying to make those differences, it draws me more closer to them. Like an artist like Ren, who stands, like, on the principle of this, like, 1000%. Why would I not want to come and try to support something like that? This is exactly why I started my channel in the first place, was to help try to support these artists who don't, I feel, are just being used and abused by record labels and people, like he said, people taking advantage of you. Like, with the truth of the matter, with telling those kids, like, you know, that the world is going to be a tough place. There are some people that are going to lie to you. They're going to, like, look like they're the right person. They're going to look like they're your best friend. And then they're going to use you and leave you behind as if you were nothing to them. And it's difficult. It sucks. The reality of that is terrible, but it happens so easily. And people don't always intend to try to hurt people, but unfortunately, it does happen. Appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Please be sure to let me know what the next song that you would like for me to check out from Ren is. I would like to probably continue with, like, another upbeat song and maybe hold off on another, like, real tearjerker, because I feel like I hit a couple of those really fast with Ren. So I want to put a little bit more distance in between some of those kinds of songs and get to know more of his catalog and kind of the different stuff out there that he also has. If you have not joined the Foxtrot family, there's always room for you. Until next time, I appreciate you for watching.